What is up, everybody? Golden Gamer 1223 back at you with another video, and sorry for this weird lighting. But anyway, today I am going to be reviewing the Gamecube. So, let's get in. Alright, so I'm back. So let us start this review. First, we're gonna do some hardware. Let's start with the controller here. Nice controller. I think, honestly, one of the best controllers of any console ever. Right behind the Xbox controller. Yeah, as you can see here, it's got the regular stick. And then we got a C stick down here for the camera. We got a D-pad here, which is good because a lot of the Nintendo consoles only had a D-pad. This allows more precise controls for better games and gameplay. Yeah, A, B button, X, Y button. On the front here, we got a Z button, left button, right button, and let's look at the bottom here. Kind of looks a little weird from the bottom, but I'll tell you what, this just melts in your hands. And there's a start button, by the way. But this just melts in your hands. It feels like hours of gaming. One of the best controllers known to man, in my opinion. Plus, it's got a rumble feature, so that's good. Let's move this out of the way. Oh, by the way, it has a pretty long cord. So, yeah, so it stretched back a little bit. Let's look at the cube itself. It's pretty light. It's got a handle on it. I'd say the only console with the handle. On the front, it's got a memory slot, or a memory card thing for memories. Yeah, see? 2 memory cards. These are 16 megabytes, but you could get them like 120. So, yeah. On the front here is the 4 controller ports. So you could have your games and have LAN. For the 6th generation consoles, which this was a 6th generation console, this has definitely the best for LAN parties and gaming with friends on the couch. On the top here, open, and then in here, that's where you put your discs. Now these discs aren't like aren't regular discs. As you can see, they're extremely small. You can hold them in your hand like this. But you plug it in there, close it, and then you power on. If you want to restart it, you press reset. That made a little bit of a weird sound, but that's okay. Yeah. On the back here, you got your handle. I'm going to get this a little more in sight. You got your handle. Lift that up. You got AV, so you can plug it into your TV. And there, it's kind of a little bit hidden, but that's where your power goes. And then on the bottom here is your Game Boy player. Now, I'm going to talk a lot. Oh, I can't speak today. I sound like freaking Bugs Bunny or something. You play your Game Boy games, but I'll show that in a bit. But here are some of my favorite games. There's a lot of games on this console, but you might think, well, some people don't know what a GameCube are, because I've seen a lot of people that don't know what a GameCube is. Problem is that it's not a very popular console, but I'll get into more of that later. But Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, kind of an RPG Mario. Metroid Prime. The Game Boy player disc, so you can use that Game Boy player. F-Zero GX. Sonic Mega Collection. And Luigi's Mansion. Yeah. So, a little bit about the console. The console came out, I believe, in November of 2000. Oh, the camera lens there. No, what? November of 2001. It's a little older than I am. It has an ATI graphics card, as you can see on the front here. I don't think you can see it from there, but it says ATI there. So, ATI graphics card. It was originally under the name Project Dolphin. Yeah. I think there's some dolphin-related stuff in there. Like, they have, like, Easter eggs that have to do with dolphin in the program or something. I don't know. It's cool, though. Yeah, I think it sold about, like, 20 million, I mean, units. Which, it's kind of sad, because it was the least selling in the 6th generation console. Xbox beat it by 6 or 7 million units, and the PlayStation beat it by 130 million units. PlayStation 2 was a good console. But yeah, it's sad how much it failed. It is the worst selling console of the Nintendo. And the reasons I think are those, or you know, four. There's a couple reasons. One, the format. The format of the discs. They're extremely small, which means smaller space. They can hold about 1 gigabyte. And the regular DVD of the PlayStation 2 or the Xbox could hold 8. So, it was hard to get a lot of the games on there. And if you did, you had to put them in at least 2 discs. So, that's kind of stupid. But, yeah. It also made programming for programmers really hard because of the weird format. Like, it's a different kind of disc. It's kind of... It's just not ideal. Another is the look of the console. I don't know why, but everybody... I'm going to put this back there. Everybody hates the look of this thing. Except, you know, a lot of people do, but a lot of people hate it. It doesn't look appealing to them. I think it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's a cube for a console. That's a pretty cool idea. I think Nintendo thought they were going to sell it by the cool shape and look at the console, but I think it only hurt it in the end, which is stupid. It wouldn't be a Gamecube unless it was a cube, but yeah, that's one reason. Another is launch. They only had two different colors for it. One was purple, so everybody immediately thought this is going to be a kid's console. People didn't think it would be a console for adults. But that is totally wrong. Out of all of the consoles that Nintendo have made, I believe that this console is the most adult appropriate. Why? Because of the games, for one. It's got harder, more difficult games that's more for adult than, you know, little kids or anything like that. The Wii U does pretty good with that too, but the Gamecube is the one that really hit it. Another is the controller. It was more complex than any other controller. Well, maybe the Nintendo 64, but that controller is more weird than complex. But it was just so form-fitting into the hands of adults. It was just a great feeling. But adults didn't buy it at first because they thought it was a kid console. So that's another reason I didn't think it would sell. Or why it didn't sell. Another is absolutely nothing to make its mark. Now, what do you mean by that? Well, PlayStation 2, let's see what that had. That had the sales, and that had the games. That had pretty much all the games, and it had great sales. Everybody loved that console, including me. As you might know, I'm not really much of a PlayStation fan, but PS1, PS2, I actually think are pretty good consoles. Anyway, the Xbox One, a total internet powerhouse with Xbox Live, and they tried extremely hard. They actually got into it, and they were in it to win it. That's why that one sold pretty okay. This one, it just had nothing. It had kind of substandard stuff, but it had nothing to make its mark. Besides, look, the Game Boy player. But, it had nothing to make its mark. What people absolutely love about the console, but I love the console just because it's a lot of fun. People didn't think of that way at the time. The thing is that this had full online capability. They were already thinking about it. They even put an Ethernet thing that would go right here. I don't have one, but it would go right here, and you connect it into there. I think a couple games utilized it, but a lot did not. So that was kind of sad, what they didn't do. But that's all behind. It didn't sell that great, but is one of the best consoles. I just have a lot of fun with it. I don't know what more to say about that. It's just the amount of pure fun is just great. Now, you can buy one of these on Amazon, I believe, for 20 bucks, 20, 30 bucks. And you're thinking, well, I could buy one right now then. I'm going to go do it. Yeah. But let's think about this before you buy it. The games are where the money comes from. Those are a little more expensive to buy Gamecube games. Mostly because they're a little more rare, because they didn't sell very many units of each game. But, yeah, I mean, that's where it's going to come from. Plus your accessories. This here, like, in good condition, this Game Boy player, it could sell up to $200. So, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, so you could buy one of these pretty good. Now, you're thinking, well, doesn't Wii have backwards compatibility with the GameCube? Yes, that's true. I haven't really met a game yet that won't work with the Wii. But it's the reason you would want one of these. Here's why you would want one. Number one, if you're a collector, like you like to collect retro games and all that. Number two, for the genuine feeling of the console. Just, it feels so genuine. Like, on the Wii, it just doesn't have that quite, grasp of the GameCube. And the last, the Game Boy player. This thing, you cannot connect to Wii, and this thing is great. Yeah, so that's what it is. Now you said, well, what about that Game Boy player? Because you said that way too many times, but you haven't showed us yet. I will show you. What you do here is you'd open it up, mark our double dashes in there. You'd get your Game Boy startup disc. Plop that in there real nice. Close that. Now you come over here, get your game, Hot Wheels Stunt Track Challenge. You plug it in there. Then you would get your GameCube controller, and you plug it in your controller port. And then you would use this. You would use the A button, the B button, the triggers. The Z button is for the options, which I'll show you when I am testing this out. And the D-pad here, and the start button. That's what you use. A lot of games will go okay with this, but some you just can't really play good unless you're doing the D-pad, which the D-pad is not the greatest, but it works. Some games are not as great on this as the regular Game Boy here. It just doesn't feel quite right. Like Legend of Zelda games on the Game Boy don't feel really good on the GameCube, but games like some platformers, racing games, those are what go really good here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go plug this GameCube in, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like and what the games are kind of like. it has pretty good graphics and stuff, so I'll see you in a bit. Alright, we are back with the GameCube. So, let's start up here. And there you go, that's the intro. And the home screen. Let's take a quick look at the home screen here. Let me plug my controller in. So this is where you options for stereo and all that. Calendar. Memory card. And the disc stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna do some gameplay now. I'll see you back in a second. Alright, I am back with some Mario Kart Double Dash. Sorry if the colors may look a little weird because my recording stuff kind of oversaturates the color a little bit. Great, yeah, there we go. Let's go! So, by the way, this is Double Dash. Good game. Absolutely recommend it for Mario Kart. I like this Mario Kart. It's probably my favorite Mario Kart because it's the only one that kind of posed a challenge to me. But I'm just doing a little bit of gameplay here. As you can see, the graphics are pretty good. Frame rate, I don't know, it's pretty high. I'd say 30 seconds or less. Or not 30 seconds, 30 frames. 30 FPS. I'd say on this one. Another thing I like about this console is it's the ultimate console to play with friends, like I said. Yeah, it's the ultimate console to play with friends. Nothing like it, especially Double Dash. Because you get to play like on the same card. I haven't done it on Double Dash yet, but great console to play with friends. I actually haven't played with friends on this console, but I have at the library where they have their own Gamecube. That's fun. Yeah, get him. What? No. Buying the Gamecube is worth it because you get the Koopa Troopa on the back through asphalt. It looks painful. Probably be dead, but it's worth the Gamecube buy. So yeah, I'm gonna stop it right here. Next I'm gonna show you the Gameboy player. So, see you in a second. Alright, so here we are at the GameCube, not GameCube, Game Boy player. As you can see, I'm playing it on my TV. And here's some features that you can do with it. So this is the menu. You can change the background or the frame. Watch. And then I can change it to different colors if I want, but I prefer just the black. And then full screen. Change the control settings and all that. Screen filter, like different colors, I believe. Sharp. Timer. I actually forgot what that does. Anyway, change game pack. So, say you don't want to turn off the console and then put a brand new one in. You just have to use this little lever on the side, pops it out, you can put another one in without having to do that. So, yeah. Oh, let's put that back. So, let's do a little bit. This is Ace Combat, or I think, yeah. Yeah, it just doesn't really matter. We're just doing some gameplay here. So as you see, it looks pretty well done. I mean, there's nothing more to say about that. It just does. It just works. It feels normal. blasting off. Oh, yep, got him. The colors are not the greatest, mostly because they're kind of stretching it out. But it's more because of my, again, recording equipment and stuff, rather than the Gamecube itself. But it works good. It just does, and I can use the D-pad. I'm using the D-pad here, and it works great. So, yeah, that's the Gameboy player. So this was a review over the Gamecube. Hope you enjoyed. Please like the video. Subscribe too if you feel like it. So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and see you later.